Robert Cavuto, and today on Metal Rules, we are speaking with Mark Box of Shakra for the powerful riff-driven album Invincible, due out June 30th. Mark, welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much.
All
It's
the
a
way
pleasure
from
for me.
all the way from Switzerland to the United States to New Jersey.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I love the album. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's brutally heavy yet melodic. It's got some diverse tempos in it and different styles. But what I think the ribbon is that about the whole album is that your voice and your vocal performance ties a beautiful ribbon around the entire album. How important is that musical diversity and bringing it all together to make it a signature sound to Shakra?
Well, I think it's very important to be a little bit diverse, but not too much. You know, it's like our own style. It's kind of music that we like, that we are influenced of, and we put it together and we make something that we really like and want to play. And I think that's the most important. It's not that we choose to go in one direction and then we do it like that because others have success with it or something like that. It's just our emotions and feelings in it.
Oh, you do a tremendous job of it. I miss albums like this that are really riff driven and not overproduced, not layers with tons of unnecessary guitar. It reminds me of the days when rock and roll was a little bit dangerous and unpredictable. You know, the song Devil Left Hell is a perfect example of what makes me want to pick up the guitar and play. And it's just a tremendous song.
That's a cool riff. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's always some ambience in it, and for this one, it was really like I heard the riff. Tom played the riff, and I said, okay, this has to do something with the devil. I don't know what exactly, but it has to do with the devil, and that's how we do the songs. It's like okay, it's like a world that you have in your mind, and then you construct something around it, you know.
It sounds like it's very spontaneous. This reminds me of this, and I'm going to go in this direction.
Yeah.
You know, what I loved about that song, as well as the songs on the album, was the guitar phrasing on the songs allowed the melody to soar and the lyrics to be heard and breathe and flow. How important is it when the band presents a song to you that they leave space for like a vocal melody, you know, in songs?
Well, it's very important, I think, because I often hear metal bands and there is a lot of guitar and a lot of bass drum, and you don't have enough place for good melodies on the top, because the melodies they want to yeah, you know, that there has to be room for the melodies. They don't work if they are if there is too much underneath of it. They live from these empty rooms, and I think it's also a thing of dynamics. It's you can better put some dynamics in a song when you have that room, because in the chorus there is a lot of guitar and drums and stuff, but in the verses there are a lot of little notes that fit there where they should be. That's the only thing that we do. It's just like was Angus Young, I think he said not too much notes, you know.
Yeah.
Take it's like Mozart did the same thing. Too much notes is not good.
Less is more, you know, and I've always felt the same way with, you know, music. And when I wrote songs back when I was a kid and stuff like that, it was important to me to have a nice vocal melody, and you guys always nail that. So kudos to you guys on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think melody is something I really like, because you can sing along when you listen to the music, and that's something I do personally when I listen to music. I often sing along with what I hear, and I want the people to be able to do that as well with our music.
Yeah, you do a nice job of blending heavy metal and melody, so that fits right in my wheelhouse, and that's what I love about the album.
Yeah, we are somewhere in between. Some say we are hard rockers, and some say we are metal guys, and we are just in between. You know, sometimes a little bit more on the left, more on the right, but always. But this is also a little bit a problem, because if we play at a festival in Germany or stuff like that, they have great festivals, but the bands there, they are very hard. They play very
Yeah.
hard. And then we come and we play our music. And we are like a soft band for them, you know.
Yes, right, right,
And here in Switzerland, if we play a festival, the bands are not that hard in Switzerland,
right.
and we are like, whoa, these guys are heavy. It's like,
It's everybody's perception is different.
yeah,
Right?
that's it. Yeah.
That's so funny. I thought the sequencing on the album was tremendous too. You deliver like 8 tracks. They're intense. Right before you get to the not the ballad, but the acoustic song, "As I Lay Down to Sleep." Really, you guys never take your foot off the gas. How many songs did you write to get to those 12 that are on the album?
I think this time it was about 30 songs, I think. It's always like about 30, 40 songs, and we choose from them. And this is a long process for us, which ones we will take on the album and which order they come.
Yeah.
Because for us, it's really, really important, because we are doing albums like we did every time. If we want that you can put it in your CD player and listen through it, that it has a little bit like in a movie, like a,
Like a flow.
how do you say
Yeah.
that?
Like
Yeah,
a
a flow, yes.
It flows nice.
And it's really important where to put which song, because if you put it on the wrong place, the song could be, because if you have a song that is very fast and very aggressive, and you put the wrong song after that, this song will not work after this song. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
It's
do.
really difficult.
And it also depends upon how you arrange the songs. It's a different album, you know? It
Yeah,
can
of course. Yeah.
the mood and the tone of the album when you're putting, maybe a slower song up front. And a lot of bands do
Yeah.
put a slower song by like the third or the fourth track. So you guys kept it real, your foot on the gas throughout the entire
Well,
8 songs.
we often make the title track. If there is a title track, we put at 3 or 4. I don't know why. There are something we always do the same. It's
Do you guys vote? Do you guys vote on what songs are going to go in the order? Like all 5 guys walk away and say, put it in the order you think you want the songs to be, and then you come together and say, hey, this is what
we do that.
you do.
Of course, because that's important, because you have all the influences from the band members, and then okay, it's almost like they are identical. That's crazy.
Really? I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, there are sometimes 1 or 2 songs that don't fit the same, but it's almost the same.
Yeah.
Because the guys in the band are really like, they like the same things, and I think that's for that we don't have discussions about that.
It's kind of funny too, when like if you go back and listen to an AC/DC album, you have to hear the songs in that order, and if you switch it up or mix it up, it doesn't feel right. You
Yes, that's exactly what I want to say. Yes. Perhaps nowadays with the streaming stuff, it's not that important for the people, but for us as a band that's doing an album on CD, it's still very important, I think.
I think it is too. I think it is too. The older people like myself, we listen to from A to Z. We want to hear the whole thing in order. I won't go and just pick out somebody's single. I'll listen to the whole album. Then you have your favorite song. So I like.
Of course. But I think that's kind of having respect when you do that like that, because when I see some young guys in the train, they are listen to this song, then 5 seconds later, you gotta listen to the next one. You gotta listen. And I don't know. They don't appreciate what they get, and they get it for free. So maybe that's the problem.
I agree with you. My daughter, she's 18, and she'll be like in the car, and we share listening to different types of music. We have different styles, And
Yeah, of course.
listen to this song. And you're exactly right. 10 seconds in, she goes, no, no, listen to this song. I was like, wait a minute. I can't, you can't jump around on me. I like to
Yeah.
hear the song in its entirety. You can't even don't stop a song midstream. It's just like something wrong with it, you know?
Yeah, you don't know what happens after these 10 seconds, but
Right.
maybe there's something great. You're gonna miss it, but
It must be the attention span of the young, right?
yeah, yeah. There is so much music they can have just only with a click.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah. We had to listen to the whole thing. You put it on the record player and you had
Yes.
to listen to the whole thing, you know?
Yeah,
You pick it up, you flip it over, you listen to the whole thing again.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
back.
It was the same like with the tapes, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, you could forward or something like, but you didn't know where to stop then.
True. Very true. You know, this album too has a very familiar sound. There's a lot of great influences on it, and yet it's the new songs are unfamiliar. But the thing that makes you feel so good is the familiarity with it, and it's the consistency of the band's signature sound. Do you put a lot of time into keeping that signature sound intact when you're writing?
Yes, of course, and it's also our producer that is our lead guitarist is Tom Blunier, and he's really, that's one of his main goal. He wants to have this sound. It has to sound. He's always like trying and stuff and doing. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not guitarist, but he's cool. He's really like it has to be like that, like that, like that. And I really like that. And if you have the producer in the band, it's always the best thing, you know. There's no one outside that comes.
Right.
Oh, come on, we're gonna make it like that, and more cowbell and stuff.
That's right. Oh, that's funny. What about like is there a song? Oh, you know, like Def Leppard,
Yeah.
they're confined to the box. They can't experiment outside. Do you guys have the ability to experiment on songs a little bit more? You know, still within the box, maybe just on the outskirts.
Yeah, of course. I think we did it a little bit on this record because there are some songs like The Matrix Unfolds or stuff, or like which was Walls of Hate.
Yeah.
They go a little bit in another direction, but not too far. You know, it's always like. We tried to go a little bit farther, but not too much, you know, because the fans, they are really like, they don't want to lose hard rock bands or metal bands, you know.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's enough. Don't go too much.
I agree with you. You know, I like the consistency. You know, AC/DC is going to sound like AC/DC. You know, Def Leppard sound like Def Leppard. You know, back in the 70s or 80s, I should say, Kiss was kind of experimenting with disco and the pop. And it was kind of like, what do I do with this? You know, maybe we were young, we didn't have a lot of money for records, but I like the fact that there's consistency now more with the albums and the bands stick with what their sound is.
But what I think when you start a band and always have these experiments inside of your songwriting, I don't think this will be a problem in the future. But if you start a band and you are really consistent with your style, then you have your boundaries. So
Boundaries is a good word.
it's how you start, you know. If you start with the boundaries like that, that's no problem to be inside of them,
Right.
because you have the fans for everything inside of that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. You're a tremendous lyricist and a great storyteller. When did you realize that you had that gift of songwriting?
Oh, which was the first song I wrote? It was I don't know. I was about 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
But this was in Swiss German. You know, it was not in English.
Okay.
It's it's a little bit more, how you say, it's easier in the mother language, you know.
Yes.
But now I think it's a cool way to make lyrics in English, because I'm not I can't talk English to you. I understand English, but it's not perfect, you know. And I always have a good guy from Australia. I send him the lyrics, and he says, "Okay, that's that's okay, but oh yeah, let's try something else there or something like that, because it's wrong, or it's in slang it's something different, and that will not be good because sometimes it's really something different. But he always said on every record he says you're even better than the last time, and on this record he almost didn't do anything on the lyrics.
Good.
He said, very, very good, perfect.
Is it when
just grammatics?
yeah, I speak English and I'm always screwing the language up. So yeah, not a problem. Is that when you realized you wanted to be a singer when you were 10 years old?
No, then I was a piano player, and yeah, this was like making some songs. For me, it was not like the first band I had 1 year after that, and we didn't have a guitar player, so I learned the guitar.
Why not?
And then one year later, we didn't have a singer, so I began to sing. It was like a evolution of myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about rock music then. It was like pop music, stuff like that. And then we had how do you say that? We went with the school. We went somewhere, and someone had the Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses. This was really new, and we listened to Paradise City, and then I was done. I was done with pop music and stuff. And so was everybody. Everybody wanted to make hard rock music. And I joined a band in my hometown that made AC/DC covers. And I began to sing AC/DC. And it was really, we had in the whole country, we had some in the pubs, everywhere we played. It was really cool time. It was rock and roll,
Who do you like better, Bon Scott or Brian Johnson?
Oh, I like them both. Bon Scott was more bluesy.
Yeah.
And Brian Johnson, it was like with balls, blues with balls.
Who do you think you sing more like?
I think Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
It's more from the throat. And Bon Scott, I think it was more in the nose and more in the face. Yeah.
Yeah. I like them both for similar reasons, different songs, different styles. I love Brian.
But the sound of the band was a little bit different when Bon Scott was in the band.
Yeah.
It was more bluesy. It was not that hard. It was harder when Brian Johnson joined the band after that.
Well, what did you think of when Axel joined for the live shows?
I didn't see it. We had a gig at that day when they were in Switzerland in Bern, and I missed it. I couldn't go to the concert, but I saw some videos on YouTube, and I thought it cool. Yeah. I thought, yeah, it's like, okay, the other one cannot go on stage, so I'm gonna join the band for this tour, and it's just for fun. And and he's a great singer. Axel Rosen is one of my idols. And he has the voice. He has the height. It's really cool. I like Guns N' Roses. I like also his solo album he made, which it was also Guns N' Roses, but it was only him.
Democracy?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like a purist. I love AC/DC. I love him with Brian Johnson. And Axel's an amazing singer, and I love him in Guns N' Roses. I couldn't put my head around it together to watch sing with AC/DC. So I struggled with that,
I know what you mean. I think
he did a great job.
Yeah. I think if they had made an album together, that's something different. But just for making some concerts, because Brian couldn't sing at that moment, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's fun. It's cool. It's also for the audience. It's also a great thing because it's not like, oh, that's the new one. No, it's not the new one. It's just a friend of the band who comes and joins the band for some concerts and then leaves.
You had a better way of thinking it than I did. So I got to maybe adopt your way.
Yeah, I look like I look it like that because it's not always against each other. I think in this music scene there's a lot of together. Not every band, but
It's kind
but
of
I
like
think
David Roth and Sammy Hagar. It's like where, depending upon where you grew up, what era is which guy you like better,
yeah, okay, but I can't say it because they have both cool voices and they did both good things with the same band. So
Yeah, you're 100% right.
why to compare them? That's not doesn't make sense, when I compare myself to John, that was the former singer of Shakra, after I left Shakra.
Yeah.
That's a complicated
Exactly,
thing. I don't do that because he was a great singer. He did a great job with Shakra, and he did the songs as he sang the songs that I sang he did it really good. So what you say? I'm not angry on him or something.
Yeah, no,
he did a great job.
That's
So
a good perspective. I should start adopting it, because it's usually one or the other, I don't really own any Sammy albums. I own all the David Lee Roth albums.
So go and get the other ones too.
I do
because
have
it's music. It's music, It's not politics. It's not. And we shouldn't make it to politics.
I have that one up there. Oh, you ate one too, but yeah.
Oh, you ate one, yeah.
There are some, but I really, like when I go to listen to Van Halen, I'm gonna go listen to Van Halen with David Lee Roth. That's
Yeah.
I got to be a little bit more open-minded like you. So I think that's a good way to be.
You don't have to. That's just my opinion,
I think it's a good way to look at it. I think you change me over. You always make a great effort to make an ultimate expression in your songs and your music. What do you think drives that artistic aspect of your career?
It comes from inside out, we are all guys that want to make something profound. We write songs. It's not just a song; it's a baby. And it deserves to have the most concentration and the most love in this what we do. That's the point. It's not like writing a song and then okay, next one, and it's not. Yeah. It's not like it's art, and art has to be respected from yourself when you're doing it.
That's a great perspective. That's a really good perspective. What songs do you think you guys are going to do live on stage?
I know it. Yeah, we play a lot of them. We play Invincible, we play The Matrix Unfolds, we play On the Wild Side. That's one of my favorites now because summer is coming, and it's the rock and roll way of life in this song. And there are a lot of more House of Rock we're gonna play. I think one more. I think 5 songs we play on from the new one. That's quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that must be tough.
We never play the whole album.
Yeah,
that makes no sense because there are songs that don't work that good live.
Right. I like the acoustic ones. The acoustic ones you can pull out the acoustic, the bar stools. That was pretty good.
We don't do that because that's a problem. I like this kind of. Acoustic guitar and easy,
right, like Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I like that. But when you have an audience and you have them, and party and you come with the guitar, they are like, hey, what's that? What's that?
Particularly if you're at the heavy metal festivals, right? You're like, what the heck?
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah, if you play the ballads of the metal, 3 ballads after one, each after one on a metal festival. So this is not a good luck, This
I would love to see you guys perform live. Are you gonna think you can make it to America, United States?
I hope so one day, because it's always a little bit. We have some promoters that say, "Hey, come to America. We're going to make a concert," but it's just one, you know.
Oh yeah.
And when you can do that, it's
No.
just not. It's just not affordable. We don't want to make a hell of money, but we got to pay for the flights, for everything, for the crew, for eating and yeah, everything. And you can't do that with one concert.
No.
You have to tour, you know, and it never happened till now that we can bring a tour together. At the moment, it's not possible. I don't know why, but maybe we should make a support tour with someone. But yeah, but then you gotta have the money too.
Yeah. You guys would be good opening up for Queensryche.
Yeah, that would be a good match. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a good match for you guys. You know,
I like them.
I do
like
too.
them.
I like them a lot too. That would be a pretty good, particularly I heard it's hard to get visas. Is it? Do you have working visas, or do you have to? Is that hard to get?
I don't know. I never tried.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think it's hard to get a visa for some to play some concerts in America. But I think in Australia it's much harder.
Really? Okay.
I know a band here from Switzerland. They went to Australia. They had a little tour together. It was not big. It was just in some pubs and stuff. And they were at the airport. They arrived at the airport, and then they asked if they have a visa, and they didn't have, and they could return immediately.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, yeah, it's because you work and you earn money, so they always want to have their share.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for your time today. It was a fun interview. It was a fascinating interview.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I love the new album. It's so great. I think it's a
Thank
great
you.
album, and I think rock fans and metal fans will definitely like it.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
I think you're going to find some unity. I think people are going to come together and say the metal fans will be happy and the rock fans will be happy.
Yeah, that's what we try. Maybe it works.
It does. It does. Great album. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And you have a
Thanks
wonderful
for
day.
having me. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.